Charlotte Flair couldn't stand Becky Lynch after this unscripted incident. Wide shot of an empty ring under dim lights. A single mic hangs above the mat. Best friends turned rivals is pro wrestling's oldest trope. But what happens when a real-life friendship implodes on live TV? Tonight we unpack the unscripted moment that detonated Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch's relationship, spiraling from backstage whispers to an on-air confrontation neither woman or WWE creative could control. How bad did it get? Let's just say locker room doors were slammed. A future WrestleMania main event was pulled, and Charlotte swore she'd never give Becky another rub. Buckle up. This is the collision of ego, improv, and a title belt that refused to cooperate. Flashback to NXT, 2014. Flair, Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, the four Horsewomen. They took promo class together, roomed on the road, and vowed to revolutionize women's wrestling. Charlotte once called Becky the sister I chose. Becky gushed that Charlotte dragged me to the gym at 6 a.m. when my confidence tanked. Their chemistry birthed classic matches. Hell in a Cell 2019, Evolution 2018's Last Woman Standing. But as both shot into mainstream fame, magazine covers, movie cameos, competitive friction crept in. Each wanted to out-headline the other at WrestleMania. By 2021, it was a velvet-gloved Cold War. Cordial on camera, frosty backstage. October 22, 2021. SmackDown in Wichita. Draft Day fallout left Becky holding the SmackDown Women's belt while rostered to Raw, and Charlotte holding the Raw belt while rostered to SmackDown. WWE scripted a neat solution. An in-ring title exchange hosted by Sonya Deville. Simple prop spot. Hand over belts, pose with the correct colors, roll credits. But simplicity dies when pride lives. The segment airs live. Sonya cues the swap. In rehearsal, Charlotte was to pass her belt cleanly. Becky would do the same. Visual. Side-by-side of rehearsal footage, smooth, versus live broadcast, chaotic. Live, Charlotte hesitates, then jerks her belt backward, forcing Becky to reach. Becky's eyes flare. Blink and miss microsecond of legit anger. Cameras catch Becky slinging her belt at Charlotte's torso rather than placing it in her hand. Definite deviation. Charlotte smirks and drops Becky's belt to the mat. Further off script. The crowd senses heat. Sonya, unscripted, snarls, "Pick it up now!" Her legit authority bleeding through the gimmick. 20-second segment mutates into an awkward power struggle. Commentary tries to gloss over it, but Twitter sees everything. Back through the curtain, gorilla position is lava. Vince, still in charge then, berates Charlotte for going into business for yourself. Becky reportedly confronts Charlotte face-to-face, shouting, "You're sabotaging the division to protect your spot." Charlotte fires back, "Maybe learn to improvise without whining." Producers separate them before it turns physical. Sasha Banks, slated for a dark match angle, storms off, telling friends she felt used as collateral in their ego war. Word leaks within minutes. Fightful and PW Insider push alerts before the show even ends. Sources close to Flair say her grudge locked in that night for 3 reasons. 1. Professional undermining. She felt Becky's belt toss was designed to humiliate her on live TV, turning the Queen into a punchline gif. 2. Legacy paranoia. With her father Rick's record looming, Charlotte believed critics would frame Becky as the more real performer if the incident went unchecked. 3. Creative distrust. She'd already pushed back on the exchange angle, thinking double champions should drop belts in the ring, not swap props. Seeing Becky play along in rehearsal then go rogue cemented the betrayal. Charlotte later told an inner circle, "I'll never trust her again. She made me look foolish, and that's unforgivable." Prior to the blow-up, early creative boards penciled in Charlotte versus Becky versus Ronda Rousey for WrestleMania 38 Night 1 main event, a rematch of 2019's historic triple threat. Post-incident, Becky lobbied against working Charlotte, saying the chemistry was toxic. Charlotte refused a 3-way unless she could pin Rousey, not Becky. Solution: split them. Becky faced Bianca Belair. Charlotte battled Ronda. Mania proceeds without their marquee collision, costing fans a dream match, and WWE a rumored $1.5 million crossover sponsor who wanted Becky Charlotte on posters. The feud spilled into media rounds. Becky on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour, November 2021. We don't talk anymore. When the trust is gone, the friendship's gone. Charlotte on Out of Character, December 2021. Some people are more worried about being cool online than being champions. Fans polarize. Team Becky merch surges. Charlotte's Instagram comments flood with goat emojis, but also snake emojis. WWE quietly forbids them from doing joint interviews through 2022. SummerSlam 2023, Nashville. Triple H arranges a peace dinner at Morton's. Both women arrive, sit, order. Becky apologizes for the belt toss, calling it heat of the moment. Charlotte nods, then insists Becky apologize on camera to clear my name. Becky refuses, saying, "If fans think you're unprofessional, that's on you." Dinner ends in silence. Bridge burned again. Fast forward to 2025. Both are locker room veterans but still avoid singles programs together. Their only interaction at Royal Rumble 2025 was a brief double-team spot, called Move for Move in advance to avoid improvisation. Rumor has it Endeavor's new TKO overlords want a Becky Charlotte blow-off at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Lucrative, but only if the Cold War thaws. As of this taping, neither side has budged. Charlotte reportedly told Creative, "I'll put her over after she puts respect back on my name." Becky's response? A shrug emoji on Threads. Wrestling thrives on blurred lines, but the belt swap fiasco proved real grudges can hijack scripted drama. Charlotte Flair couldn't stand Becky Lynch after one off-script tug-of-war, and 4 years later, the echoes still shape WWE storylines. Do you blame Charlotte for protecting her brand? Or did Becky's spontaneous belt toss expose hidden arrogance in the Queen? Sound off in the comments, smash subscribe, and ring that bell for more inside ring revelations. Until next time, remember, championships can be scripted, but real respect can't be booked. It has to be earned. Becky Lynch is back in WWE after missing almost a year of action following the expiration of her contract in the summer of 2024. The man spent her time away promoting her autobiography, spending time with her daughter, and letting fans reminisce about all of her greatest moments from her now 12-year run with WWE. However, not all of Lynch's most noteworthy moments have been memorable for the right reasons, with one moment in particular causing a rift between herself and Charlotte Flair that left their friendship broken beyond repair. On the October 22, 2021, episode of WWE SmackDown, Flair and Lynch were drafted to different shows. Flair was the reigning WWE Raw Women's Champion, while Lynch reigned as the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, but since they were swapping shows, they needed to swap belts to maintain the lineage of each belt on its own brand. However, things went south extremely quickly. Both Flair and Lynch went off script almost immediately, with Flair dropping her title belt to the floor so that Lynch had to pick it up, only for Lynch to retaliate by throwing her own belt at Flair. This ultimately led to the two